Well, I got the book, my mother's book. I posted about this on Instagram. Her name was Annie Sulman, and she was married to my great-grandfather, Sir John Sulman, in Australia. She was his second wife, and she was, one of her hobbies was photography, and she photographed wildflowers of Australia. Hi, voiceover Arlie here. Sir John Sulman, my great-grandfather. I always forget how many greats. He became Sir John Sulman. He was the architect of Sydney, one of the city planners and architect of many buildings that are still well known there and stuff. But Canberra had there's a long story and there's a short story. I'm going to tell you the short story. He helped finish up some problems with Canberra and won the whatever, I don't know what they call it. That he didn't get a knighthood, but he was the same thing they do for like Paul McCartney and stuff. He was bestowed the honor of knight or whatever you call it by the king. And so he became Sir John Sulman, and then his first wife died, and he married my great-grandmother, Annie, and so she became Lady Sulman. And you might hear about him now because every year there is a Sir John Sulman prize or award for, I think it's art in public places or something in Australia. So that's how his name lives on, as well as much of the buildings that he built and a lot of the city planning in Australia. So if you're interested, it's kind of an interesting thing to look up, Sir John Sulman. And my sort of distant cousin, second cousin, we share the same great-grandfather. He is a professor of history in Australia, and that's where I got a lot of these images that I post. Because he does PowerPoint presentations and writes articles and books and stuff. So that's it. That's the end of voiceover Arlie. And this is a first edition book that I found online, minus the cover, and it was only in American dollars, $20 and $20 shipping. So it doesn't have the cover. And that's fine. I just thought it would be fun to have an original. And since it is first edition, I'd like to imagine that her hands actually touched this. I don't know why I think that, but okay, here it goes. Some familiar wildflowers. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Stop bouncing. This was the property of Charles R.J. Glover. Oh, how interesting. There's just all these stamps and stuff written and things written. Acacia. Oh wow, it's like all photos. There's no, I'm not going to flip through the whole book page by page and bore you, but there's no writing. Oh, I love it. It's just all photos. This is the best. This is going to be really fun to work with. If I do scan images in, I will make them available if you want to use them. So say something down here in the comments and I'll add you to a list. And when I do scan the pages in, I'll send you a link to the Dropbox. Publisher's note, Mrs. Sulman is making a further collection of photographs. Oh wait, Mrs. Sulman is making a further collection of photographs. of wildflowers, and the publishers will be glad to notify the publication of same to all who send in their names beforehand. Well, this is just the best. Okay, well, that's just really exciting. Maybe I'll make a cover for it. Or maybe I'll just leave it like this, because that's pretty nice. Thanks for checking it out with me.